You want to know a simple way to beat stress, fatigue, and get better sleep? Magnesium. The only one I use is Magnesium Breakthrough from BioOptimizers. Guys, it helped me relax more, stress less, and sleep deeper. What's not to love? When you get all 7 critical forms of magnesium, your body gets a serious upgrade from your brain to your sleep, pain and inflammation, and muscle tension. Guys, you know taking care of your body and your brain is more important than ever. And with this one simple action, you can start feeling the benefits quickly. Go to www.magnesiumbreakthrough.com/Chael. That's going to get you 10% discount. Use the promo code Chael10. You'll also get a free 30-cap bottle of Masszymes with all 3 and 6 bottle orders. So click on the link in the description or pinned comment to claim your discount and try the power of magnesium for yourself. Joe Rogan came out. He was talking about, he was essentially, whether he was defending himself or explaining himself, but one of the two as it pertained to him interviewing Conor McGregor after Conor's loss to Dustin Poirier. Now, I don't know that I buy the fact that Joe talked to a guy that was finished, and that's the problem. I don't know that I buy the fact that Joe talked to a guy that was injured, and that's the problem. I feel like the words that came out of Conor's mouth hurt people's feelings, upset them, offended them. Rightfully so, by the way, if you fall into any one of those categories. But then that got put on Joe. I don't know that I actually believe that anyone had a problem with Joe speaking to Conor. As a matter of fact, the night that Anderson Silva was hurt, because we've only seen this 3 times, the night that Anderson Silva was hurt by Chris Weidman, if we could have heard from Anderson and he could have just, hey, thank you all so much, I'm going to get to the hospital, I appreciate your support, and left, I think we'd have liked to have heard it. The night that it happened to Chris Weidman, had they interviewed him, and Chris said, boy, I felt it on the check kick, I'm in a little bit of shock right now, please keep me in your prayers, and left, we'd have never heard about it. I believe the only reason that Joe is even being questioned as to whether he should have done that or not, right? Because it wasn't getting down. It wasn't the hurt athlete part. When Joe got down, and he had to get down to interview Sean O'Malley, and I realized Sean did not have a compound fracture, but Sean got stretchered out of there, went straight to the emergency room, went straight to being looked at by the doctors. Sean said beautiful things. It was a beautiful interview. I remember how happy Sean was that Joe was talking to him. And I remember Sean even finished it and goes, I love you, Joe Rogan. And Joe goes, I love you, Sean. It was this great moment. And nobody said anything to Joe, including a compliment. Hey, Joe, thank you for getting that moment. Thank you for not excluding Sean O'Malley just because he was down and you didn't want to bend down in your suit. Thank you very much for making the cameraman get down and figure that out. And don't bring to me the difference was the win or the loss. The don't interview the loser policy, which is not as hard and fast as it was for a very small period of time, is exclusive if that loss is by knockout. Don't forget that. One of the things that Joe said when he was explaining what happened there is that Conor called him over. Said, Joe, come over here. Let's do a podcast. It sucks to be the fighter that doesn't get interviewed. I remember the first thing I ever said to Joe Rogan. The first time I ever talked to Joe Rogan, I had just won a co-main event, which made me the #1 contender. And I had had a number of fights in the organization prior to that. I was the winner. And Joe never interviewed me, including main card matches. Including at one point, I took out the #2 ranked guy in the world. No interviews. So that's as the winner to not get to say your piece. The loser would much rather get to say his. The loser, nobody in the UFC is like this at this point. Well, I don't get interviewed if I get knocked out or I don't get TKO'd. I still got marketing to do. I still got a Band-Aid I got to put on this thing. Give me that damn microphone. It's just one of those things. So now Conor's calling him over. You're going to say no to a guy? Why? Because he's hurt. So now you're adding insult to injury. Not only are you hurt, not only do you lose, you're not going to get to say your piece. Could you imagine? Of course Joe did the right thing. Of course he should have interviewed Conor. I'm only submitting for you guys that I don't believe that any of you think that he shouldn't, including Team Conor says he never should have been interviewed. He should have been attended to. I don't believe that you think that. I believe you would love to take that interview back because Conor said that about Dustin's wife because he was aggressive, because he was in a place of denial, and you all thought that Conor should just absorb it and take it in. He refused to. He had a shield up to all your insults and had him bouncing off. I think you didn't get what you want. I don't think the haters got to see Conor showing everybody his pain. He did just the opposite. I don't think any of you have a problem with the fact that Joe interviewed him.